Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of the Huevos con Weenies podcast. I'm your host, JTheCreator, and with me again today, of course, is PurpleSuns. Oh, dude, I didn't know you could do that.
Yep,
I can't do that.
I can do it pretty well.
I need to learn. I gotta take lessons.
You want to attempt it?
No. Not on this podcast. I'll do it after.
Give the people what they want.
Fuck
man.
no. I'm good.
They would love it.
All right. Anyways. So what's new with you, man? We haven't seen each other, and we haven't even done content this week.
I know.
For
It's been a while.
a reason that we're not going to talk about, but it's definitely been a while. It's been a while since I've seen you, at least.
I think the only new thing that happened is that my wife's dog died.
Oh, okay. You want to bring it up? All right, that's fine. I don't know. It's fine for you to bring it up. I didn't want to bring it up. You know what I mean? Because that would have been rude. You know, putting your business out there like that.
Yeah, could you imagine? You just say.
I just started telling everybody. So
your dog died.
This fucked up thing happened this week.
Yeah.
This guy's over here. His
and
dog
he was
died.
pretty prominent in our podcast too, since you would always hear him in the background.
Yeah, I don't think the listeners could, but we could. Yeah, which was the sad.
We
thing.
definitely heard it.
So, do you kind of want to explain the situation of it, if it's okay?
I think maybe in the future.
In the future, okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Right now, we're in mourning.
Yep.
I'm in mourning. I don't know about this guy. Yeah. He didn't like the dog.
I think when it happened, it was more so I felt that, I kind of felt. Well, not kind of, but I did feel bad for Gabby for sure.
Well, of course, that's your wife.
Yeah, so more so, I would say more so than the actual, the dog passing away.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
So that's how I felt.
Yeah, you don't care about the dog dying, but you care about how.
Not that I don't care. It's just that
you feel more for your wife than you do the dog.
More so that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
that's fine.
I do miss. How annoying he was and stuff.
You miss how annoying
because you get used to it.
Okay.
After
now you don't hear him at all anymore.
Almost of having him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it is. You get used to certain things, and then when they're not there, it kind of feels weird.
You know what?
Like it could be with anything. Like say you have a roommate that lived with you forever, and then they move away, and then the next morning, it kind of sets in like, oh shit, it's not the same,
Gotcha.
Something's different.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Okay, I felt like that when I moved from here where we live back to I think I moved back to the Bay Area. Yeah. Yeah. That was
back to the Bay Area?
Yeah, because remember, I used to live pretty close to you.
Oh yeah.
And then just one day I was like, hey man,
you moved to the Bay.
I'm moving. Yeah.
Damn.
And then I went to go live with my grandma.
Oh, you did. And did you move to SD after that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, I moved to SD actually to be with my girlfriend at the time.
Who shall not be named.
But it ended up not working out, and I had to move back to Hayward.
Yeah, back to the Bay. Yeah. You've been on tour, man.
Definitely been on tour, and honestly, part of me wishes I could have stayed in San Diego, to be honest.
San Diego is nice.
Because, I came back, I remember the first time I came back to my grandma's house, and it's weird because I felt like a failure. I was like, damn, I left here, in a relationship. I got a pretty good job over there.
Yeah. And
then I kind of felt like a D4C, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck.
Did it feel like starting from square one again?
Pretty much, yeah. Because, I had to, I not only, at the time, I lost my girlfriend. I lost, where I lived.
Ouch.
I lost my job, and I had to, and even when I came back, I didn't know where I was going to stay.
Damn.
Because I had my dog with me.
Oh.
And my mom didn't want the dog in her house because she already had another dog at her house who hates other dogs.
Dang.
And she basically kicked me out.
So it's like you were going to be homeless.
I was going to be homeless with my dog. But then my grandma felt bad for me. And she was like, fine, you could stay. I could stay at her house. And then, that's where I moved, me and my dog. And
nice.
She ended up loving the dog, which is weird.
That's good.
Yeah.
Maybe, do you think it was because it had a scary face that she didn't like it? Did she see pictures of it first and then thought nah, I don't want that dog here? Or
yeah, she I think she had an idea of what he was. Cause I told him like, yeah, he's like a pit bull mix, and I think I showed a photo of him to my mom, and then my mom showed my grandma, and that's when they were kind of scared of him
Yeah.
because he was part pit bull. But then they actually, got to know him and they saw
Yeah.
that he was a sweet dog, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, this guy's pretty cool.
So if it was a toy poodle, they probably would have not have mind as much. Like if
Probably, yeah.
yeah.
One, because it's a smaller dog,
Oh yeah, that
and
helps.
and two, Mexican families typically have some sort of poodle,
Yeah.
which is the weird part.
Little dog, some sort of little dog.
Yeah, either a Chihuahua or a poodle or a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
That's typically our
Those
go-to
are
dogs. Yeah.
that's crazy. I
Yeah.
never thought about that, but yeah.
Or not the poodles, but it's that
Little
white
dog.
dog. It's that little white dog that has fucking well no, I mean that yeah, it's just it. It
Just
has
any
long
little
hair,
dog,
yeah. Some little white dog, yeah. That's typically the dogs that Mexicans go for.
Yeah. Strangely enough, I don't like little dogs.
I fucking hate little dogs,
Yeah.
dude. They're the most
'Cause-
annoying pieces of shit ever.
Yeah.
People let fucking people who have little dogs, they let their dogs do whatever they want.
Yeah. They're like little
Like they're walking around
brats.
without leashes, and then
shitting everywhere.
like people don't I kind of feel like people don't understand that even though you have a little dog, right? It's still a dog. Like if your little dog goes and challenges a bigger dog and then your dog gets fucked up, the bigger dog gets blamed
Yeah.
because, it's a dog, dude. If you're
Yeah.
going to go around challenging other dogs, you're going to get fucked up.
Yeah. And there's been little dogs that get fucked up by big dogs when little dogs like escape and then like end up in like some bigger dog's territory, like the front yard of some house or some backyard.
Yeah.
And then the owners actually they not only get penalized, but sometimes they try to put the dog to sleep.
So
And it's
yeah,
not
that's
even the
most
big
fucked up
dog's
part.
fault.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part.
Isn't that interesting? How the fuck can we do that to animals? But if it was a person, it would be a whole nother story.
Yeah. Like if you broke into someone's backyard and you end up getting hurt, well, they probably would sue you still.
They could if they wanted to,
Yeah.
yeah. But the consequences aren't as severe.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
not like they'll put you to death.
yeah. I mean, you'll probably go to jail for a certain period of time, but then you get out. Why can't we do that with dogs? We send them to disciplinary school.
Mm. Some
Guess it
people
will
will
cost too
say
much money.
because we're overpopulated with animals, but then again, I think it's the same case with humans.
I mean, we're definitely overpopulated with humans. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Every year, we're just like growing by the millions.
I mean, look at the prisons. They're all over. What's the term? Overpopulated.
Yeah,
You know,
overcrowded
prisons.
Yeah, that we're all funding,
Just
giving
bullshit.
these people meals.
And they're all privately owned too, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, so they get profit. Like basically, they need to have a quota of prisoners
Yep.
in their facility in order to gain revenue.
Which is the
That
fucked up
is
part.
a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're just looking for people to commit crimes.
Yeah, and if that wasn't bad already, they also have lobbyists who actually fight for laws that'll be more strict on certain things. That way, they could basically ensure that they have revenue coming in. So they'll basically try to ban, or basically shoot down all the marijuana laws, things like that.
Yeah.
Because they want their revenue to be insured. Because if marijuana becomes legal everywhere, then they'll have less prisoners.
You got to release so many people who got
Yeah.
busted for marijuana
So
laws.
yeah, they want everything to be strict, just so they know, oh, we have money coming in. If we fight for tougher laws. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's like that's weird, but also it's disgusting.
Definitely disgusting that we even allow that to be a thing in this country.
Yeah,
Because other, well,
don't
I
think
can't
other countries
necessarily.
I don't think they do that, but I may be mistaken.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to talk like I knew what I was talking about. You know what I mean?
Like we're experts
Yeah,
in
yeah.
prison.
Well, let me tell you about the
laws
laws in New Zealand. All right.
Yeah.
But
But if I
yeah,
was a betting man, I would say that we're probably one of the worst offenders.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
We
say
privatize everything and then we try to get money for the said thing.
that's the weird thing about America, right? Because um, we are one of the richest countries, right? But it's only because we let capitalism run wild. Like, privately owned prisons. Who the fuck would think of that? It's like,
Yep.
no, no, no. See, here's how it works, government. I have this land. I'll build this place, and you just pay me to hold people in it.
That sounds like
And
a
like,
master plan.
who in Congress was like, that does seem like a good idea. I don't know. Let's
Yeah.
put it to a vote. You know what I mean?
Basically, because they don't have to build a prison at that point.
Yeah,
They're like,
they're
all right,
like,
someone already has.
somebody else will handle this, and I could just do something else.
Yep. And then the government pays these.
Gives them bonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, all this
Yeah.
bullshit.
And on the cycle goes.
I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like we definitely need some sort of what's the term? Like law reform
Oh yeah.
or bill reform, whatever the
Bill
fuck you want to
reform,
call
yeah.
it. Because all these laws and bills were made back in like the 1950s. You know what I mean?
The fucking 1600s.
Yeah, 1600s, 1950s, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Oh wait, America wasn't even a fucking place in the 1600s.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, the fucking 1600s, man. They made all the shitty laws.
But yeah, so like now I'm actually thinking about it. Yeah, during the 1950s, this was when racism was fucking rampant.
Ooh, yeah.
In Congress and shit. We still have these laws against minorities like this.
Racist.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'm betting, I'm willing also to bet that they have a there's certain I guess prison facilities that have monopolies. So it's just, I bet you it's kind of like the cable, cable internet, how the companies do it, how, like, if I wanted to start my own company,
Yeah.
like ISP, I probably can't, well, yeah, I can't start my own company because Comcast would say, no, shithead, we own this land here.
Yeah.
Like, you have to get your own.
Which is bullshit because like monopolies are supposed to be illegal in
Yeah.
this country.
Yeah.
But there's fucking
clearly,
loopholes like fucking Walmart, Walmart can't buy out other businesses of a town, but they could build a super Walmart and keep their prices incredibly low so that
Beautiful.
nobody shops at all these other stores and they eventually shut down.
Yep.
The same thing goes for, like our electricity, here on the West Coast, we can only get PG&E.
Yeah.
We can't go with another company.
Yeah.
And then PG
That's
is the
stupid.
reason why we have so many fires.
Yeah.
They've caused like 2 fires in the past 4 years.
Shitheads.
Shitheads. Knuckleheads.
That's gonna be the theme of this episode. Lots of shitheads.
Lots of knuckleheads here in America.
Knuckleheads. Well, that's why, as evil as Google is, that's why I liked how they were causing a disruption when they were basically, I guess, introducing the whole internet thing and how
Yeah.
they were gonna move into certain neighborhoods. So they were actually battling it out with certain ISPs.
They have their own I don't know if you know this, but they have their own
Fiber.
cell phone service.
Oh yeah, I
think it
some
also-
of my coworkers have that.
I think it's also called Google Fiber.
Yeah, Google Fiber's the internet.
Yeah.
So is that phone thing? Is it different than Google Voice,
No.
or is it Google Voice?
No. It's not Google Voice, it's just they provide cell phone service for people.
Yeah.
Cell phone and internet, of course. Yeah,
Dang.
cuz I used to work in a shop in the Bay Area.
What is it called? Google Fi? No, something like that.
It might be
Something with a
Google Fi. Yeah, it might be Google Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work in a shop in the Bay Area, and people would bring in their Google phones to me, right? And then I would look at their SIM cards, and it would be Google Fi. I'd be like, oh shit, I didn't know Google had their own legit
Yeah, and
cell
it's
phone
super
service.
cheap too. My coworker actually has that. I remember him telling me like a year or two ago, and he was all giving me shit for me paying so much money on Verizon.
Yeah.
But apparently they have one of those shared network type of things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it pays
And
like
they
a portion
give it
of
to
what
you.
his real bill is.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But apparently they use all the same towers, things like that.
Okay.
But I can't deny Verizon is really good too.
I mean, they
but
definitely are.
expensive.
They have a lot of towers. Definitely
Yeah, we
expensive.
pay like almost $300 a month just for 2 people.
For cell phones?
Yes. For Gabby and I.
Jesus, man, I would go with T-Mobile at least.
I don't know. Well, it's super fast. I have coverage everywhere.
Okay.
And then I have unlimited hotspot.
But let's be honest.
Unlimited internet.
How many places do you go to? Our home and then Gabby's parents'
Well,
home.
listen here.
Okay.
Remember.
Oh wait, you take trips to Mexico.
I do that. Yeah, and
Okay.
I get it over there too. Yeah, free international use as well.
Okay.
And then also, if there's ever a time when my power goes out, I could still get internet for the laptop at least.
Oh, use the hotspot thing? Okay.
But yeah, it's not the fastest because it's just included in the plan. I could upgrade that part, but
yeah,
even the free one is pretty decent enough to browse the internet.
Yeah.
And view YouTube at like 480p on your computer.
Okay. Yeah, because I got T-Mobile and I pay like $70, but I still say that's too expensive.
And actually,
because I'm at home a lot.
A portion of that is actually because I'm still making payments on the phone too.
Oh, okay. So. Yeah, before I finished paying off my phone, I was paying like $110.
Yeah.
But as soon as I could, I paid off my phone. Fuck that.
Yeah.
$110 a month.
I finished paying off my last phone. It was the Google, or actually the Pixel 2 XL, and then I decided to jump on and get another phone. I got the Pixel 4.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, it's stupid because if I keep doing that, it's as if I'm just renting my phones. Because if I finish paying off my phone right now, and then get a new phone, then what was the point of paying every month for this phone?
Yeah, kind of just wasting money at that point. Yeah.
Like in that case, like I don't know if it exists, but maybe they should have like a rental or like a lease for phones where you could pay every month, but not as much. And then you could swap out with like the latest phone in like a year or two.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think there's just too much liability when it comes to stuff like that. You got to worry about, what condition they keep the phone in, and because one scratch, one crack on these phones, and
they'll void the value contract
goes down.
Yep. And yeah, I'm actually rocking my phone naked. So
yeah.
Yep. Since I know that I'm probably not gonna sell it because I still have my Pixel 2.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll just keep it and not have a case on it and just basically just make it have like a lot of war scratches, basically. Like whatever it's been through, but this is my phone.
Okay.
But it just having a phone without a case, it looks so much better.
It definitely does. Like the couple times I've had, my phone at home, I would take the case off and just
it just feels nice.
Yeah, it's a nice phone, but
they don't build phones to last. So if you drop it, you have a chance of fucking it up. Although they do have like Gorilla Glass on them, like all the latest phones.
Yeah.
So that's not that big of a deal. But like with the iPhone, they have the glass backing and stuff.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not.
That's pointless.
Yeah, exactly.
So why put glass back there?
Apple's just dumb.
Or do they make a lot of money on their repair?
I mean, they definitely do. Yeah. Every day, people were bringing in broken iPhones.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, especially, I mean, people do find ways to break the front like display, right? Even with the Gorilla Glass.
The Gorilla Glass isn't that. I mean, it's strong.
It's not the strongest level of Gorilla Glass, but it's like the base level, which takes care of like little nicks and scratches.
Yeah. So like, it's not a lot of people know this, but on a microscopic level, on the glass, there's still small holes in it, which if like a pebble gets into one of those holes, your screen's fucked. Because when glass breaks, it breaks. It's not just gonna cause a small little nick. Yeah, exactly.
So it's similar like a fucking windshield. If you're driving behind like a fucking construction truck and a pebble hits your car, you get a small little ding, but then that little ding one day will basically make it so that the whole fucking windshield cracks later on when it's like the summer or something. Like there's heat applied to your windshield, and then there's like a small bump to your windshield, and then off goes the whole fucking windshield.
Yeah.
Just because of that little ding.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I guess the cold would do that too. It'll fuck up your shit.
Yeah.
If you have a like a
That's why it's not recommended to pour hot water on a cold windshield.
Yeah, I'm
I've
sure
seen
there's
videos of
plenty
people,
of people.
cracking their shit like that.
Oh,
Like, damn, I'm glad I knew.
that's a hard lesson.
Yeah. I always use the scraper. I have a scraper in my car.
Oh.
And pro tip, if your windshield's frozen, use a plastic scraper. Plastic doesn't damage glass.
Ah.
No matter how hard you rub on that shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a scraper handy, but when that happens, I use my work badge to scrape it off.
Okay.
That's why it's all fucking bent. Like, you see that shit? It's all bent. Because I've used it as a scraper.
Oh, God.
Like, otherwise I would be late for work.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, fuck this badge.
Yeah, it's just a badge.
Yeah, I could get another one if I wanted to.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's not that serious.
Yeah.
I don't keep my badge like all speck and clean. Spick and span.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so back to what we were saying earlier. I do miss San Diego sometimes.
They have nice weather.
Nice weather, place is dope. So close to LA. And LA has a bunch of dope, food spots. There's a bunch of anime shops there that I wish I could go to, but I can't.
Anime shops.
Yeah, so there was this one place called Franklin and Sons, and it kind of looks like an anime manga flea market.
What?
They just have a bunch of booths with different animes and manga collections and stuff. It looks fucking dope.
With different vendors or same vendor but like flea market style?
Same vendor but flea market style.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Kind of like yeah.
Do
So
they have like hentai and stuff like that?
I think they do.
Have a little curtain area.
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Shit.
Because in Japanese, it's called doujinshi. I think those are the books
That's
that
the
have.
name of hentai?
Because hentai in Japanese just means pervert. But the actual books, like, because they have 18 plus manga where it shows actual sex and stuff. They're called doujins or doujinshi.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder how big it is over there.
They make them all the time, so I imagine they're pretty popular.
It was always one of those weird things to me. It's like, yeah, the artwork is pretty, it looks fine. I mean,
the artwork's dope.
Yeah.
But, when you
see like these hot naked anime chicks, but then again, it feels weird to me because I just know that a dude drew them. So I'm like, I'd be like whacking it to something that a dude drew.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
That makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah. So yeah, that's why it's never happened. But I commend anyone that does.
Speaking about that, I just remember this, but it was like within the past week. Somebody messaged me about this anime that everybody on TikTok was talking about.
Yeah.
So I checked it out, and this wasn't a normal anime. This was a part of the yaoi genre. Do you know what yaoi is?
No, never heard of it.
It means boys in love.
Ah.
So I was watching it, and then the main plot was that this guy, he goes to this all boys school, right? And he's looking for a club to join. He wants to join just an easy club. So he goes to photography club. But when he gets into the photography club, and I remember seeing this, but there was like 5 dudes standing around one dude in the middle, and they had a dildo vibrator rubbed against his dick. Yeah. And at this point, I'm freaking out. I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" And then essentially,
were they making, like all the like anime noises, like
no.
Like all those exaggerated noises.
Were
yeah,
they?
Like when
okay.
they were doing that action.
Yeah, making all that weird ass noises. And then the main protagonist finds out that the photography club is just like a
cover.
It's a cover. really they're an all boys sex club, and
What the-
and he because he accidentally joined the club, he has to within the month they give him a month. He has to fuck a guy, or else they're going to gangbang him.
Oh shit! This sounds like a fraternity and shit.
It was definitely weird, yeah. And then it started to get very graphic, which I was very turned off by, and I had to stop watching.
Okay.
Yeah,
But did they show anything at all, or?
they did. Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Well, it's not like they didn't like animate a very clear drawing of a dick. It was, in
A
the shape.
blurry
It was
one?
in the shape of a dick, but it was it had like a white silhouette all over it, and then they made it glow, which is kind of weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So you
Wow.
can get the full scope of what they were doing. But yeah,
That's
it was
pretty
pretty
intense.
gross. And
What was it called for all the people who want to watch it? Yeah, I'm
uh,
asking for a friend mainly.
I don't know the name of it. I can't remember, to be honest.
I'm sure it'll
But
come up with the Google search.
I'm sure, yeah, yeah, yeah. But but yeah. So I discovered a new genre that I was not ready to watch.
That's how do you even
I
find
don't
these
think
things?
I'll ever watch it.
You just run into it like on forums and stuff.
No, somebody mentioned it to me on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
TikTok. I forgot. Man,
So
there's some sickos on TikTok.
definitely are. But it's, that Yahweh genre is mainly for girls. I don't know why,
Oh,
but girls like to watch dudes do gay stuff with each other.
well, I guess it's kind of like
I guess
dudes.
some of them out there. It's not like every girl likes to do that.
Well, there's lots of dudes who also like girls
Oh,
doing stuff,
of
so
course.
I guess it's the same thing.
It's only natural. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I never heard of that genre, so that's interesting.
Yeah, so, you know, it's
Yeah, I
something,
could only imagine the
the
like the
more you
first
know.
time like you had it on and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Definitely, I was freaking out.
And it probably doesn't even say it in the description anywhere. Like, it won't even hint to that.
I mean, yeah, it didn't say that it was Yahweh,
It'll probably say something like
or that
he
they were going to be
joins a
fucking.
photography class and finds out something.
Yeah, some vague like that.
Yeah, something like that. But it doesn't say the exact thing. Man.
Yeah.
Well, well, that's. You think there's anyone who? Never mind. I was gonna say. I might as well just say it.
Yeah, say it.
Do you think people jack off to that show?
Um. All right. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have said that. I don't know. I don't want to know. You know what I mean?
Who are these people?
Who are they? Yeah, who are the fuck are these?
If they're
people?
dudes, of course.
I mean, they got enough money to animate that, so I don't know. There must be some sort of market for it.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if do you know of any like American? Is there such thing as an American anime at all?
I mean, services like Netflix
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, that's right. They have
Crunchyroll. I don't know if necessarily Crunchyroll is American. It might be. I don't know where the origin of the company is,
me either.
but they do make their own animes sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah, but then again, they might have hired like an Asian writer or something.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know.
Or they could have outsourced like the development to some
Some dude in Japan.
some dude in Japan or like a studio in Japan.
Yeah. So I don't know if there ever, or let me rephrase that. I don't know if there has been a legit American anime. I can't imagine that it's good.
Hmm.
I heard that Crunchyroll made one with all female writers and cast, and that it wasn't very good.
Hmm. I wonder what would classify as an anime though.
I mean, anime is just short for animation, so. But then again, there is a debate. You know that show Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people debate whether or not that's an anime or a cartoon.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a cartoon. Like I guess because of
Yeah,
the style of
because of
their
the
art.
because of the style and the fact that it has Asian elements to it.
Mhm.
I would say is the big debate, because cartoon is pretty American, right?
Yeah.
But
What
in the
about like Red versus Blue? Would that be an anime? An American anime?
Red versus Blue, is that Halo thing?
Yeah.
That would not be an anime. No.
It's cartoon,
I mean, it's
kind
anime.
of.
It's animated, yeah, but it's not.
So I wonder what
I
would
I
an
would
American
classify that as
anime look
an
like?
animation. Red versus Blue is an animation. It's not an anime.
Hmm.
I think animes just have that.
Does it need like Oriental aesthetics to it
I
then,
think so.
in order
Yeah,
to be an anime?
yeah.
Okay.
Because like all these animes, everybody's speaking Japanese, so
Mm.
that probably has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Maybe they just have rights to the name.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Americans can't do shit with anime, because
Oh, did you say that? Was it me or you mentioned that there was like a Mexican character in an anime before?
uh,
Or I remember we had like a discussion. I think I said something like I've never seen a Mexican in an anime before.
yeah.
And then I think you mentioned like there was one character, but I might be tripping. Which brings the question, yeah, we don't have a lot of representation in the anime world.
I was looking at this because there was a all right. There's a couple points to this. So one, we definitely don't have enough representation in the anime world, and for good reason, because most animes take place in
In
Japan,
Japan.
and there aren't many Mexicans in Japan.
Oh, that's true.
And although I would like to see more Mexicans in anime, that's not something um, that's not something that the world is ready for right now.
Oh yeah.
I would like to make my own anime with Mexicans in it.
Yeah.
I think that would be super cool. But that's for down the
Yeah.
line. And two, or was that? Did I just say two? And this is three.
I think you're going on to number 2. I don't
Okay.
think you said 2 yet.
Number two, I realized that I think it was like a couple days ago. There was this huge argument on, not argument, but more of a conversation topic on Twitter,
Yeah.
where people, black people specifically, they complain that they, um, or not complain, they were bringing up the fact that in TV shows, right, regular TV shows or movies, they don't have black people just doing normal shit. Like, they were saying that, whenever a black person is brought up on TV or in movies, it
Yeah.
has to always do with some sort of oppression or struggle
Oh.
or slavery, which I can understand. Like, because I mean, not every black person's life is like that. I'm
Yeah.
sure it does on some small scale, but it's so insignificant that
Yeah.
they're just living life, doing regular shit.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, and they live in America in modern times.
Yeah. So that made me think, like, fuck, if I want more Mexican shit to get out there, then I have to be the one to put more Mexican shit out there.
Ooh.
I'm not just gonna wait for these white writers to listen to my call for more Mexican actors or more Mexican anime
So
or
that's
nothing
what
like
we're doing
that.
right now. We're putting Mexican American content out there.
Yeah, we're doing that by doing this Chicano podcast.
Yep. I mean, we may not talk a whole lot of Spanish, but we're
getting
Spanish
there.
influenced.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Sabemos un poquito español,
Un poquito.
Un poquito.
A lo mejor un día.
I can get around Mexico. Let's just say it at that.
Yeah, I can get around too.
I'm in Mexico. I'm like, donde
Your hands are all shaking.
donde está la línea?
Línea.
And like, okay, vas a ir por allá por el 5, okay, vas a ir a la derecha y síguele y vas a llegar a la línea. I'm like, what?
Señor, no entiendo.
¿Me puedes enseñar? Some stupid like.
And they're like, ¿qué? Ensenada?
Ensenada. Oh,
Send you
quieres
the
ir
wrong
a
way.
Ensenada. ¿Por qué no desistes?
Sends you the wrong way. You'll get just deeper into Mexico. That'd be funny.
Holy shit. That's a fucking movie right there, dude.
It would.
I get trapped in Mexico. I try to find my way to the line, but because of my misunderstandings, I end up going deeper and deeper into Mexico, learning more of the language and culture against my will.
Yeah.
And then I end up staying in Mexico.
It'll be like an Eat, Pray, Love Mexican comedy version.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fuck,
You
dude.
discover yourself over there.
That's $100 million movie right there, dude.
Yeah. By the end of it, you'd have discovered like Mexican saints and shit.
Yeah, at the twist, I'll finally make it to the line, and I'm just staring at it.
And then you
I'm like,
decide to
fuck
walk
this.
away.
Yeah, and then I just walk back into Mexico,
Damn, that'd be
and
awesome.
then movie ends.
We need to make that happen.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna make sure to write that down after this podcast, because I always say that I'm gonna remember ideas, but then later
It
I'm like,
never
wait a minute,
happens.
what the fuck? What was I talking about?
Yeah.
And then I forget it.
I need to get better with writing down my ideas
Hell
too.
yeah. Actually, you know what? Let me do that right now. I'm not here. Just keep the conversation
Sometimes
going.
I even do like the voice recordings to remind myself.
Oh, the voice recordings are even better.
Yeah. So I don't forget, and it's really quick too. So I may look like a weirdo at the time, like if I'm out and about.
Yeah.
I'm all saying like writing down my notes, like whatever it may be. Like make sure to remember this and that. But yeah, not a whole lot of people do that. But I wish maybe if like I had a tablet, maybe it'd be easier. Maybe.
Yeah, tablet?
Yeah, I don't have a tablet.
Oh.
I guess my phone is a small tablet.
Yeah. That's why I was confused. I was like, why not just use your phone?
Because phones, I don't know. You don't think of a phone when you want to write notes for some reason.
Okay. Yeah.
Like they have a lot of good note applications.
Yeah.
But something about like having like
an actual keyboard
tablet.
Yeah.
It's so much better with that. Where you can get the pen and shit.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that, yeah. I wanted to get one of those small laptops, like the small 14-inch ones.
Ooh.
But then I just felt like I was going to look like an asshole writing notes in my laptop everywhere.
No, those are perfect.
Yeah. Like a little notebook.
The one Gabby uses, hers is like a 13-inch Ultrabook from Dell. It's like an XPS. It's perfect. It's light. It's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they even have like those Microsoft Surface books.
Those are pretty cool good too. Yeah. They're just a bitch to fix.
If you crack would imagine.
My God, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty much impossible to get it fixed by a third party.
Yeah, and no one seems to work on them. I mean, there's few and far between.
There's a lot of issues with them. Issues in terms of opening it up.
Yeah.
Because the way I remember, I think it was on the Surface 3, the way they open, when you take off the glass from the body of it, an antenna is also connected to the glass.
Ew.
So it makes it impossible to take it off without ripping that antenna.
Oof, so you have to replace the antenna too?
Yeah. And then the antenna itself, you can't find it anywhere. So I remember my boss opened it, he ripped it, he's looking around, for an antenna to replace it with, and
it was like
he
a
couldn't find one.
Computer.
Yeah, it was a customer's. And
Oof.
But the weird thing is that we switched out the new glass and it worked just fine. I don't know what exactly that antenna was
Probably
for.
Has less coverage now.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Because it was the left side of the antenna.
Yeah.
The right side was fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I think the antenna just amplifies it, whereas there's still a signal even without it. But customer may not notice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
But yeah, I hate that. Even with computers, when we were fixing computers back in the day, there was like computers where you had to be careful when you pop open like the top tray or whatever it may be, because like there's some sort of cable that's stuck to the tray when you take it out. Just anything like that.
Shit's
it's a
stupid.
bitch.
Yeah.
Or
they have it designed.
Like those little Wi-Fi connectors. Or I think it was like the little NIC card for your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like you had to like pop it with a stick, but really
yeah.
careful because the heads would just stick on there and then the cable would rip while the head's still on there.
So stupid.
I broke plenty of those.
Same.
But we had plenty of spares with those type of things.
Gotcha.
I think so. Depending on the model. But yeah. Have you ever had the thought of maybe I miss fixing computers? I want to go back to fixing computers.
I mean, I definitely do, but at the same time, I don't know. It's kind of just, it's all the same thing.
Or phones, I guess.
I'll be down to fix phones again.
Is it better fixing phones, you think? Or
it's a lot faster. Yeah. And fixing computers is just
do Do you
It's
think it
just
may be
so
a
many
thing of the
more.
past, fixing computers?
I would say so, because they're making computers so cheap and
Mm,
available now
yeah.
that pretty much when it breaks, you could just get a new one.
If anything, phones are more expensive these days.
Phones are definitely more expensive because, like, I remember people would come into the shop and they would want their Amazon Fire tablets fixed,
Oh.
and those things are dirt cheap, man. You can
Oh
get a
yeah.
Fire tablet for like $50.
Like the labor would cost more to fix.
Exactly, and that's what they would be surprised about. He was like, "You telling me it costs $100 to fix this?" I was like, I had to explain to him. I was like, "Yeah, it's just,
Still
it's
have to
more of
pay
the
for
labor,
labor.
really, because I mean, these things are so cheap to begin with. Why the hell do you
Hmm.
want it fixed? I'm not gonna fix it for $5.
I know. That's what
Not
they
worth it.
expect.
Pretty much, yeah,
But even it doesn't matter how cheap it is. Like the difficulty is still there. Like especially Amazon, they probably don't have like the foresight to think how easy it would be for a repair technician to repair.
yeah.
So they just make sure to put it together
They
as
just
cheap as
design it, send
possible.
it off. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
and they
not
don't give a
thinking
shit.
about the fixers,
Hmm.
the repairmen.
So yeah, just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's worth it.
Exactly.
So yeah, $100, bitch. That's what I say.
Yeah. So it definitely had a lot of customers like that, and I don't know. I think the idea of going back and fixing computers is nice, but then again, I just think it back to all the bullshit I've had to deal with in that area of the industry, and
Oh yeah.
I'm just tired of it,
There's a
man.
lot of pressure when it comes to like getting certain
Yeah, I
numbers.
gotta meet quotas. I mean, you remember the fucking
Yeah.
company that we worked
Yeah.
for? Shit sucked.
You'd get emails like every other day, like you were supposed to be like doing this and that, like opening first and closing last, things like that.
Yeah,
Like they want you to open up
yeah,
as many repairs as possible in the morning and then
yeah.
close as many, computer repairs as possible.
In the same fucking day, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not. Oh no, it wasn't feasible for me anyway, because you know some of the repairs were more lengthier than others.
Oh yeah.
Like top
Exactly.
cases, those took the longest for
Oh yeah.
me.
You have to gut the whole thing out.
Yeah, and then they're like, "How come you only fixed 9 instead of 10 today?" I was like, "Fuck, man, you serious right now?
Yeah.
Just because I missed one repair?"
All they're seeing is dollar signs.
Yeah,
Yeah. I wonder like if someone really put together the numbers, like get the actual numbers from Apple, how long it would take to actually fix the computer. I bet you Apple gives you more leeway than the actual repair company does. Like Apple would probably say for a top case like 45 minutes to an hour, but your shop would say 20 to 15 minutes or less.
yeah,
So it's not realistic. But yeah, all these
definitely.
companies are shady. And the
Yeah,
bosses are just they have like dollar signs. They're like Mr. Krabs, you know,
that's all they think about. Yeah,
is the money.
especially that fucking company.
Yeah.
That guy retired too.
I bet.
His wife is running the shit now.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Definitely.
man. Yeah, and their glass door, there's like a bunch of complaints. Although
Still,
there's a lot of fake reviews in there too.
yeah.
Like this is the best company ever that I've ever worked for.
This is the best company I've worked
Like
for.
they're sitting there writing fake reviews for themselves to make themselves look good.
Yeah.
Like I can't picture just sitting down and writing a positive review.
Such bullshit, I'd say,
Hmm.
for that company to do that.
It worked out for the best. Look, we grew,
Yeah,
and
if
we're
anything,
not.
that was like a stepping stone for us.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. It was like a landing spot. We
Yeah.
needed a place to work, and we were fresh into the industry.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's all we needed.
I don't think I told you this, but I was actually offered my old job in Hayward,
Old job, as in
the company that I
the
was
phone
working
company.
for. Yeah,
What?
I was offered that job again, and I
Dang.
turned it down, obviously, but um,
What did they say? They were like, and they needed people too,
they
because
did. Yeah,
they were
yeah.
like running short on people and shit.
I'm surprised they wanted me, to be honest, because last year when I quit my job, I essentially said, like, this was during like the height of the pandemic. I basically said like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I live with old people. I can't really
Yeah.
be working like this.
And
So,
wasn't there days where you started like an hour late and shit, or like you?
There were many days where I started an hour late. I was a terrible employee. When it came to the vans, when I worked at the shop was the best, man. Like, I actually liked my coworkers because they were like around the same age as me.
Oh
So
yeah.
we could like just go in there, fucking bullshit, fix phones.
Yeah. That's the best.
Shit was awesome. Yeah, that part of the job I do miss a lot. But when they started putting me in a van, I was by myself
They're like,
in
here's a
Oakland,
van.
driving around fixing stupid ass customers' phones. That's when I started to get resentment and hate inside me. I was like,
That's
man,
what
this
started
fucking
to
job.
grow.
And then I started thinking about how I may or may not have done this.
Okay.
Right? Let's put that out there. I may or may not have done this, but when I worked in the van, there was mysterious damage to the vehicle.
Huh.
And
because it was already like that when you got it, right?
It was already like that when I got it. Yeah, even before I was the only one driving it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The van just takes off by itself.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Stuff's flying around back there. Shit happens. I remember one time I was fixing this phone and I put a new screen on there and it died. And then I possibly had gotten so angry that I smashed the small chair that I was sitting on.
Whoa.
And then, I ended up, I fixed the phone. I drive it back. I drive to my new location to fix another phone.
Yeah.
I look where the chair is and the drawer is broken. Like I had broken, I possibly had broken.
Dang.
No, wait, no, I'm wording this wrong.
Is it like a slide out drawer that slides out and then?
Yeah, it slides out, but there's a lock on it, right? So somebody, not me, had slammed their chair so hard that they broke the lock.
Oh yeah.
And it just fucking opened and closed on its own.
Yeah, and that's not something they'll. Is this a van that you used regularly?
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll never know until you like quit and stuff, and then they kind of distribute that van to another person.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Yeah, because I quit, and then somebody else took over, and they probably dealt with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, "What the fuck's wrong with the drawer?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Did the chair slam itself against the drawer because the chair knew that you had to spend like another 40 minutes to an hour fixing the phone again?
Probably, yeah. It was the chair's fault.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, chairs get so pissed, man.
They definitely do.
My chair gets pissed a lot.
But yeah, and I considered going back, but I think I'm not really sure at the time, but I think we were just like in the talks of doing the podcast. And I was like, I was like, man, I don't want to give up on this.
Yeah.
And then I just told him no.
Gotcha.
Which kind of sucked because, I was out of a job at the time.
And didn't your boss always like text you this weird shit, like making you feel guilty and shit?
I remember once he did it once because I was driving down a freeway and I was going like 75. Speed limit was 70.
Oh shit.
And he texted me saying, got you clocked going 75. Might want to be careful out there. Or something stupid like that. And then I replied saying, 70, 75 and a 70, like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was pissed.
That was ballsy.
I was pissed that day and I was being an asshole. And then he showed me that another one of my coworkers that got into an accident because they weren't paying attention when they were driving.
He showed you pictures and shit?
He sent me a video. Yeah, he sent me a video of it. And fuck, man, that guy, I know the guy, and he might actually be here where we live. What? That coworker, yeah. But what was I gonna say? He crashed into a Tesla. Out of all fucking cars, he crashed into a Tesla, dude.
That's gonna be expensive.
Fuck yeah.
And does it come out of the company's insurance though? Like, is the driver not dinged at all? I wonder.
No, yeah, we had company insurance.
That's beautiful.
I mean, definitely, because I fucked that van up. I mean, somebody else, not me, fucked that van up.
It was the chair, goddammit.
It was the chair that fucked that van up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those electronic chairs that have AI in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, they go sour after firmware
Yeah.
updates. So
Yeah. So when I was
smash.
working in the shop at that job, I missed. And then I kind of missed my job in San Diego.
Oh, what's
It,
the job in San Diego?
same thing. I was fixing phones, but it was for a smaller company. It was for a mom
Gotcha.
and pop shop,
Oh,
and like it was the owner and his wife, which was fine. I mean,
like
I
she
had
was
to
fine.
no. I mean, I had to listen to him argue all the time, which
Oh, that's awkward.
kind of sucks. And then I couldn't have headphones in.
What?
And for a while, I was kind of going
That's
crazy.
bullshit.
I know. For a while, I was kind of going crazy because the owner doesn't like music playing in the shop.
Who is this guy?
So then, I don't know why, but I played this song in my head that I couldn't stop thinking about, and I kind of started going crazy because it's all I could hear, like the same
Whoa.
song playing in my head over and over and over again.
What do you think
Yeah,
causes that?
I don't know, it makes
Just because you
stress.
can't listen to music and your brain wants to listen to something and then something goes on loop in your head?
I don't know. I think it might just be a me thing, right? Because when I listen to, if I'm doing work, right? Now, obviously, there's obviously shit going on in my head while I'm working,
Oh yeah.
but I typically drown out all this extra noise in my head with some sort of song or a
Mm,
podcast
yeah.
so then I can solely focus on my thoughts of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But when there's nothing there in my head, there's just all these different
Like
gears
noises
turning and yeah.
bouncing around.
And then I end up not being able to focus at all.
Wow.
Yeah, which really sucks. I don't know if anybody else gets like that, but that's how I get.
Yeah.
It's very
Sometimes
unfortunate.
when you have tasks, things like well, this that kind of reminds me of when I used to help out my dad with this gardening business when I
Yeah,
was like mow the lawn and shit.
yeah,
Like there'd be times where you would mow the lawn, you have, it could be like a big yard, but the whole, 10, 15 minutes of cutting grass, you're just thinking the whole time. Like you have to entertain yourself in your head.
yeah,
So you're like singing songs in your head or you're thinking of ideas. Like that's one of the more productive brain moments in
yeah.
your workday. Even though you're doing an action that doesn't require a lot of brain power, for some
You just
reason,
need some to
yeah,
to go to that place where
yeah,
all right,
it's
I'll
like a meditation or something.
yeah,
Like you're
exactly.
thinking, you're singing, it's all in your head.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I know a lot of gardeners out there can relate for sure.
for sure.
I thought I was gonna be a gardener, you know, because at that point, like
You're
I
so good at
was
it.
what? No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Well, there are certain gardening actions that are
You
a little
couldn't
more
do.
advanced.
Okay.
Um,
Like
like using the weed eater, that little
weed eater.
the Mexicans call it weedy,
Weedy. Okay.
and it's the little
Can you describe it?
the little pole, and then the end of it like spins around and has like a little string that.
Bro, you mean the weed whacker? Just said
Yes, the
weed
Mexicans
whacker.
don't call it weed whacker; they call it the weedy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Weed. I mean, just for my sake, you're over here talking about weedy. I've never heard of that before. I'm sure many fucking
not even
listeners
a
haven't
weed
heard of a
eater.
weed eater either. No, fuck no, I've never heard of it. Heard it called a weedy eater. What the fuck is that?
It's
Say
because you
weed
never worked in
whacker.
the industry.
Okay. Oh shit, my bad.
The industry.
Like it's so exclusive.
Yep, it
Okay.
is.
Okay. All right, all right. So you're using the weed whack. You sucked at the weed whacker? How?
Yeah.
Will you fuck up? Like you
Yeah,
can't keep
you
a
could
straight
easily
line?
fuck up.
Oh, okay.
Like you could, cause the point is to get nice and
Straight
fine
line.
edges. Yeah, like
Okay.
straight lines. But when you're barely starting out,
You're
like
not
just
that
holding it's
good.
really awkward.
Yeah.
So you like cut diagonally when it's supposed to be vertical, things like that, and it'll chop off like a whole like corner
Fuck. All
of
right.
the edge,
Yeah.
basically where the grass ends.
Yeah.
And yeah, after a certain point, my dad just took it away, and he was like, "No, you just cut the grass,
Yeah.
blow the
I'll,
leaves,
I'll take care of the
rake
edges.
out."
Yeah.
But yeah, even Nando couldn't do it. Like it was pretty hard,
Definitely a skill.
and Sammy can't do it. We
Okay.
just had this discussion like last week in the group.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just one of those. Maybe you have to be like a real down ass Mexican to do it.
Or maybe just you need
I've
practice.
practice. I probably worked for a good year or more. But anyways, back to the point. The point was I thought I was gonna be a gardener
Oh
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
dropped out of
High school.
high school
Yeah,
like when I was a junior.
yeah.
So I was just about to be a senior. And I actually may have started senior year, but then they had like a meeting with my parents and they're like, he doesn't have good enough grades to pass, so it's either he's gonna do a whole lot of work or he could do something like a GED or some shit. And
At the
then this was
time,
right around the time when we were gonna move to San Diego too.
okay.
So I decided to drop out for the time being. And then there was a good gap where we were still transitioning to go
Yeah,
to San Diego. So I spent a good amount of time
just chilling.
doing like yard work and shit
Oh, okay.
with my dad in the meantime. But then at that point, I was a dropout, and
You were
I
like, well,
obviously wasn't. I didn't think I would get any kind of diploma or anything. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to get used to this here.
yeah,
I'm gonna have to get used to being in the hot sun, or when it's cold, you're out in the cold. Um, and it it kind of sucks. But yeah, we ended up moving to San Diego, and then I went to night school, and then I did get a GED. So,
and at the time GEDs were still viable.
hmm
They're not anymore.
right now, even high school diplomas are shit. Like
Yeah,
no one really cares about that. Uh, well, especially um, in the IT world, you don't even have to have a diploma. You just have to have the experience.
yeah.
Because
And
there's a
even,
lot of smart people who don't have diplomas in
yeah,
IT.
and even then, there's still ways around it. Like the shop that I worked for in the Bay Area, they said that they preferred people with no experience, which was kind of weird.
Yeah,
But yeah.
it's
So
because
there's definitely doors that you can
yeah,
get into to get into the IT world.
yeah, because the IT world, they noticed when they started to take in a lot of people who did have like these degrees, they didn't really have any real world experience. So they just brought a paper with them basically, but nothing to show for it in terms of like real world experience.
Yeah,
It basically shows, you have discipline, that it may show that, and you're competent enough to, pass your classes. That's what a degree would show.
okay,
But if you have real world experience and you're taking that with you basically, so you're getting someone who's been in, these situations and they could handle themselves, how to deal with stress. That's what real world experience would bring.
gotcha.
But if you had both, that's probably the best out of all options. If you had both experience and a degree, then
Yeah,
you'd probably get it over someone who just has a degree or just has experience. But usually it's one or the other. There's a lot of people who just have degrees and no experience, and there's a lot of people who have experience but no degree.
okay.
And then it's also about who you know.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're trying to get some badass job, you have to know someone for sure.
Shout out to my primo Francisco
Yeah.
for getting me the job
Hooked
that
us both up.
plunged me into the corporate world.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He's a
Yeah.
G.
Yeah. And it was like no questions asked too. Basically it was like, "Oh, you interested?" And then he hooked you up.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very thankful for that.
Yeah. And even he made it, higher than he was already. Like he's working over there at like a big Silicon Valley company now.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, talking about moving up the ladder,
I
dude.
know.
He's up there now,
Yeah.
which is great.
But that's what it's about.
In the IT world, yeah, just got to keep moving up.
Yep. No one wants to work
Fuck
fucking
no.
help desk.
Yeah,
I've done my time.
yeah. I haven't
It's a
done mine.
nightmare. It's a war zone.
I know. That's why I'm skeptical about even going into it, but
You'll have a lot of headaches. But
yeah.
one good thing is that you don't take work home with you, because help desk work is more like everything's in the moment. So it's either you fix it or escalate it. Once you escalate it, it's off your plate. It's with another team that specializes in like whatever the problem is.
Nice.
And then you go home, and then you're not left with any problems
Okay,
for the next
unwind.
day.
Yep.
That's what was good about it. But yeah. But the good part about being like in a specialized group is that, you don't have to take the initial calls, and you get things a lot slower than the help desk, because help desk is always being called
On the
instantly
forefront,
every
yeah.
time. Whereas if you're like in a certain little section of IT, like working on the servers or the network or security, like not a lot of it goes, or you don't get a whole lot like right away. It's like comes in drips, and you could focus on just that, if you do network or whatever.
Okay.
So that's the good part.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys want to go into IT, there's a lot of shit you guys could do.
Definitely. You can fix computers, you can fix phones,
Phones,
you do security,
servers,
all that.
network,
Take you a
telephones, even telephones are IT with VoIP and shit. That's
anything
all
network is
IT.
gonna take you a while to get into, but if you really want to do it, it's possible.
That's something that I always wanted to do. Not with a passion though, but
Yeah.
I always wanted to learn networking, but it always seems almost boring too.
Yeah.
It's cool, but a real networking person that just focuses on networking and subnets and all this and that, I think it takes a special person.
Gotcha.
It's very dry work.
Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like truck driving, you know?
Yeah.
It takes a certain person to be a truck driver.
Oh yeah.
You have to have a
You
lot of
gotta respect
patience.
the shit out of them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how they feel about, those automated semi trucks coming. You've seen Elon Musk
yeah.
reveal some of these trucks
They
like
have
2
plans
years
for
ago.
self-driving trucks.
I think Walmart already bought 8 of those trucks.
Fuck.
So, I mean, things are happening,
Yeah.
and sooner or later they're just going to drive themselves.
Eventually, yeah.
And then there's the huge question that a lot of people get pissed about is like you're basically eliminating all these jobs that could have been filled by a human. So when you do that kind of stuff,
I mean, the same argument could be made about um, the cashier at McDonald's,
yeah, and
you
they
know?
do that argument. They get mad.
But like, it doesn't make any sense because, you know, being a cashier at McDonald's, before it did have a place, right?
Yeah.
But again, it's a job that could be done by robots,
Yeah.
which they are now doing at many locations. You go to a screen, you put in what you want, you just touch pictures, and then boom, there you get your order ready. It'll be done in 10 minutes.
And if you think about what the goal of the company is to make money and to be as efficient as possible. Number one, robots make a whole lot of less errors than humans, if any. The only time they'll make errors is when there's a bug, which is not very common. Those things are kind of ironed out before it even gets to, the actual retail spot.
Yeah.
And then two, why keep a job around just because a human could do it? This isn't charity.
Yeah.
This is a business.
Not only that, but like people are very upset about how remember when I talked about it a couple of podcasts ago about how Biden
Oh yeah.
has eliminated the jobs of over, I think the number I said was like over 70,000 Americans.
Yeah.
But I think it had to do with the pipeline that he stopped from happening going through Navajo territory, which again, let me emphasize, we're not supposed to be doing. That land belongs to those people, and they could do what they want with that land.
There
We
were
can't
agreements
just
in place.
build a pipe through it.
We've had an agreement.
Yeah, saying that we're not going to do shit to your land, and then Trump was like, build a pipe through that land. What the hell? Do it.
Beautiful.
More jobs. Nice.
More jobs. It looks good on paper, dude.
Yeah, but again, you know, like having the job of a coal miner in 2021, I mean, come on, dude. Come on. You do know the earth is fucking heating up, right?
Yeah.
We don't need coal anymore like that.
Yeah. Man, tough job. But yeah. Like that's on a whole, it touches on the issue we were talking about, but it's also touches on it touches it in a larger scale too, because that involves,
I mean, definitely
planetary health right there in a way.
Like we gotta think, or at least the way I think about it, right? This is why I'm kind of glad I did go into the IT world, because IT is gonna be here forever. right?
Yeah.
As the future goes on, IT is going to get more and more advanced, and we're going to need more and more people in the industry,
Yeah.
which is why I know that, my IT career is safe.
Yeah. That's
But
why it's easy for you to find a job when you look for them
yeah, and when they're available.
when they're available.
I've been looking around here. There aren't many
Yeah.
IT jobs. Side note, I looked at the company that I was working for that
Yeah.
fired me. They're still looking for people.
Oh shit.
So fuck you guys.
Yeah, it's hard to find people, especially in smaller cities.
Well, not only that, but I think they they're just a shitty company who
Yeah. Can't keep anyone.
Yeah.
High turnover.
yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention about the job thing is like we could compare it to the old days where we cut jobs and we needed to adapt. And like for instance, like the milkman or the shoe shine boy
Huh.
or like the horse stablemen, like things like that used to be around that's no
They
longer
were pretty
around.
normal, yeah.
Or like people who forge steel, that exists but not like before.
Yeah.
But I'm saying by those jobs being free, by us not having to do them anymore, it frees us up to do other things. So instead of, taking people's order at McDonald's, you could be like a technician for the machine that breaks down. Like
Or you
your
could be a
job doesn't
cook
have to be that
at
hard.
McDonald's
Yeah, or I guess watch when they replace that one day.
with a robot.
Or you could fix the robots that cook the burgers. That's
yeah,
even
like
better.
the dad in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Exactly.
He got fired from a stupid toothpaste cap job, and then he ended up fixing the robots.
Yeah.
Which I don't even understand why it was a job in the fucking first place. But I think the time was supposed to be like the I don't know.
Yeah, what time period was
It was
that?
weird, right? It looked like the 1950s, but they were
It was like a little more
It looked
advanced.
like the 2000s.
Yeah. It's a weird,
Didn't make any
weird
sense.
movie.
But
Okay.
but yeah,
But yeah, you don't have to take shitty jobs. You have the ability to do other things and smarter things.
Like it kind of makes me think like you're telling me like coal mining doesn't that job, the skills that you learn on that job doesn't transfer to anything else. You work with heavy equipment, you could do construction.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know.
That's something that's
I'm
always
just
gonna be
fucking throwing
around.
ideas,
I
man.
don't see robots doing construction anytime soon.
No.
I mean, there's machines that'll help you pick up boulders and shit.
But I
But there's
think,
not
like-
anyone there's always someone controlling these things.
So one thing we know for sure is that labor jobs as well, they're always going to stick around cuz it's kind of the same thing. Like technically a robot could fix computers, but you need human intuition to properly
Yeah.
assess shit in a computer in order to fix it.
Especially when things happen like in a snap. Like
Yeah.
things go wrong, you need someone there, especially.
Yeah. So
And robots aren't logical.
they're not. No. So labor jobs for the most part are safe cuz we're always going to need electricians or handymen or I mean, handy person. Could be a woman.
Or even movers.
Oh yeah, for sure we're always going to need movers.
We're
yeah.
always moving. People
Yeah.
are always moving.
Yeah. And, you don't want to pack up your own shit. You let somebody else do it.
Yep. But instead of them driving the truck now, they'll
They'll
just
just
sit in the
have-
truck probably and go point A to point B, but not even have to control it.
Or maybe they'll just be the manager of the self-driving
Yeah.
truck.
You'll be
Somebody
yeah,
who makes sure that everything's
you go.
working fine.
probably get paid a boatload more too.
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
it's driving itself and you're over here playing video games.
So yeah, so I wouldn't think of it as a bad thing, and there's the argument that these kind of jobs, and no, I guess offense to people who do work these jobs, but you could argue that these jobs weren't meant to, survive off of, and it's kind of showing these days too, because people often have to have roommates now, and you need someone to live with in order to afford the rent, especially in California.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is, but just know that it's gonna happen regardless whether we want it or not.
I was like,
So
yeah,
it's best
'cause
to adapt.
I think one of the big factors is that change is scary to so many people.
Yeah.
Because, like, before, right, our parents, let's say, for example, they would just do one thing, or they're used to just doing one thing for the rest of their lives, and then that's it. But for us, right, the new generation, we have so many of these opportunities, and we all take them. Like you could graduate from high school. You could either go to college or get a job, and you go to college. Some even do both.
Yeah.
And then after that, you choose where you want your career to go. You don't have to stick to just
Yeah.
mowing lawns or
be flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could even go to college for doing landscape work now too. So
yeah, which is kind of weird because that just doesn't make any sense to me.
I know. You
seems
can just
more
start
on the job experience kind of thing. But hey, you know what? Fuck it. If somebody wants to fucking waste their money doing that, that's fine. You know.
I wonder what they could teach you. Maybe the business side of things. Who knows?
Oh, that makes sense. How to get clients.
Construction has schools too.
Yeah.
But I guess it allows you to be like a owner operator type of thing. You basically have like a plan in place. It allows you to think about like plans for certain landscapes.
Because if you want to, like, let's say you're in construction, right? If you get a call to somebody's house and they want to do an extension on their home, there's certain papers you need to file with the city. In order to do that, like you can't just. Unfortunate thing is that you can't just do that just because you want to. You have to run it by the city first. Yeah. Which sucks because it's your house. You should be able to do what you want with it.
Yeah, and with those construction guys, like you always see like that one guy who did go to school. He has like the big blueprint out on the truck. Yeah. And then you see like the workers basically just working their ass off. And then this dude's just drinking his coffee, just looking at everyone doing their work.
Doing their work.
Yeah. Yeah, one time when they were like in the neighborhood in Stockton behind, my old house, the 2-story behind our house was like the whole new neighborhood. And there was always like a lot of like Mexican construction workers. Yeah. And then we often went back there to that neighborhood that was being built because there was like lots of different empty houses that we could climb on and go in. Yeah. But one time I guess we kind of went to one of the houses where there was like guys working, and then they said that they would pay us like $10 if we could move like wood from this location to the other location. So yeah, while we were doing that, the boss came with the truck, and then he's like started screaming at us because we're not supposed to be, touching anything, and then he got the guy in trouble too.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he yelled because it was a huge liability issue,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
did you get your $10 at least?
I don't think I got my $10.
Wow, dude. Bro, that makes it even worse. Yeah. I would have talked hella shit. I was like, "Oi, hey, pinche perro, ¿dónde está mi $10?"
Well, the job wasn't complete, I guess.
Like, wow, we were in the dude, that's such bullshit.
But yeah, man.
Now ask for the money up front. It's like, give me the $10 now, so now you're not bullshitting.
Yeah, but yeah, it's funny, and those guys that kind of tell everyone what to do, those construction bosses, they all look the same. Yeah, they always have like jeans, and they're almost always white. Yeah, and they have like a plaid shirt, like checkered almost shirt. Like a checker shirt. Yeah. Fucking construction.
White helmet is it white?
Yeah, white hat. And then driving like a Dodge Ram or some shit like that.
Steam. Yeah. It's just their look.
Yeah. Always holding something in their hand like a coffee.
That's funny though. Yeah. Fuck. It's good stories.
Well, we're at just about an hour and 15 minutes right now.
Nice. This was a pretty awesome podcast.
It was an easy one to do today.
Hell yeah. Look how beautiful it is outside.
Without talking too. It tends to happen. Yeah. Because we didn't do the content, and here we are. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. The energy drinks helped.
Oh, yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Like, I only took, 240 milligrams to the face.
I took 300.
300. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, that helps.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. That's gonna be it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching or listening. Follow the podcast channel on Instagram and Twitter at Weenies. You can follow my personal Instagram and Twitter at _ JTheCreator. And you can follow Purple Sun over here at Instagram, PurpleSun _X. And you can find him on Twitter at IGiveDrugs _. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all next week. Latest.